Okay, it is Sunday, January 12th. Now, in New Jersey, that usually means it's really cold out and we hibernate, we don't go out. But today is supposed to be mid 60s, extremely warm for this time of year. So we decided to go to Columbus Flea Market. Yay! So now we're waiting online for a spot. They open the gates up at 6:30 so we can get in. We're going to attempt to sell. We have no idea if it'll be a good day or a bad day, or we'll find out. We having fun yet? Okay. We'll set up in a half hour or so. Having fun yet?
No.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, I really did so much. Wizard of Oz. This band is so packed today. It didn't see.
Okay, we're back from the flea market. It's actually the next day. So as a recap, we did okay. Some things sold well, other things not so well. So let's start off with things that did not sell well. Starting off what did not sell well, which is kind of surprising, 8-tracks and cassettes. Now, a lot of you are saying, who collects 8-tracks and cassettes? Well, there's a lot of people online that do, and it seems to be a lot of sales going back and forth, but I put these out at Columbus Flea Market, and there was very little interest. I didn't sell any cassettes at all, and 8-tracks, I think we sold 2, so $2, and that was it. So disappointed, 8-tracks and cassettes did not do well. Also, I think in the future, though, when we do want to sell them, we'll sell them online on eBay because they seem to sell pretty well on eBay. What didn't sell well also was comic books. I put out a dozen or so comic books and barely anybody even flipped through them to look at them. That was surprising. In episode 7, we had listed, I showed you some refrigerator magnets we bought, a whole big box. We were going to sell them off. No one even looked at them. No one priced them, looked at them. No one cared about them. So that was kind of a waste. Also, in episode 7, we looked at German Monopoly, an old German Monopoly set from the 1960s. Nobody even looked at it. I put it on the table and no one questioned it, looked at it, no one cared about it. So German Monopoly did not sell. So what did sell? Well, we had a bunch of wrestling DVDs that we put out. We had bought these at a Bodner's auction a couple of weeks ago. We put them out. We had a couple individual sales, and then somebody came and bought the entire lot. So wrestling DVDs sold well. Also, back in earlier episode, I think it was episode 4, we showed some metal flamingos. And there were 2 of them. We bought them for $10. We sold them for $35. So quick flip from 10 to 35, nice $25 profit on the metal lawn flamingos. We put a bunch of books out. They sold right away, no problem. The big seller for the day were records. We had the vinyl records that we put out. Lot of interest in that. Not so much on the smaller 45s, more on the large albums, the 33s. They sold really, really well. So we were very pleased at how much interest there was in records. Good conversation, good sales. So overall, it went really well. Our overall opinion of Columbus Flea Market, because I hadn't sold there in a while, is a great place. It's a great flea market. And I say that because it's very clean. The walkways are all paved. Everything is well taken care of. There's no trash laying around. Had a very good crowd. I mean, especially for January, 60 degrees in January, we had a very good crowd. Clean place, nice place, bunch of friendly people. So Columbus Flea Market, definitely want to go back. While we're at Columbus, before we set up and start selling, Michelle and I took a little walk around, and a couple things we bought that I want to show you. First is something I've never seen before. It says on the outside of the box, Kirin Beer. You open it up, and it has directions in Japanese. These are coasters, beer coasters. Kirin is a Japanese beer company. Makes a very good beer, actually. There are 6 cloth beer coasters. You can see that okay, in different colors. The same symbol on it. And I thought this is really unique. I've never seen a cloth beer coaster, and there's 6 of them in here. We only picked this up. We only spent $1 on this. It was kind of a cute little novelty for $1. No idea what the value was at the time. Since looked it up online, I see one person out there selling it, and they're selling for like $20, $7 shipping. So for $1, it's a cute little pickup. Kirin Beer cloth coasters. Okay, what else do we have? This is something that caught my eye. It says Shadowrun Wolf Neu, Wolf Neu. And it's a figure, and it looks like it's some kind of a game that you play. And I think this is something that is European. So the front and back, that's our back. So kind of a mean looking guy in there, a nicely detailed figure. Bought this kind of on a whim, no idea the value, paid $5 for it. It's a little frayed up here, but overall pretty good condition. I didn't know the value. Came home, looked it up, and I see there's a site that gives the values for action figures, and it's saying it's only worth about $13, which is surprising. I was expecting at least in the 20s. So I spent $5 on it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Maybe try to sell it later. It's not going to be a big money maker, but it's kind of a neat thing. Something different. Okay, last but certainly not least, as you can tell, I'm very, very into music. Bought an Allman Brothers poster, music poster, and it's Hitting the Note 2003 tour. So it's a nicely framed music poster. Get a close-up of that. As far as value goes, not really sure. We only paid $3 for it, so I paid for $3. I love music. What the heck? I don't plan on selling it, but I like to try to get an idea of the value. I looked online, can't find this poster anywhere online. I see other Allman Brothers posters out there. They go from $10 up to a couple $100. I don't know the difference. I don't know enough about posters to say if this is valuable or not. I'm going to do some homework on this and find out. And when I do on a later episode, I'll post what I find. But nice Allman Brothers Tour poster from 2003, Hitting the Note. And that was our nice find of the day. So had a great time in Columbus, especially for January. It was great to get out there and sell, enjoy a nice day. Probably get back out there again in the springtime when it warms up, and we'll report back then.